Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Canon EOS photographer for Randall and Rueff. Today is Sunday, July 28th, 2013 AD. And today we're talking about Canon flashes. That's right. What do you need to eliminate your subject? That's right. Illuminate your subject. Well, first of all, let's start on the upper left with the Speedlite 600 EXRT. And I'm going to talk about something in general that doesn't refer necessarily to the Speedlite, but to the most powerful flash you're going to have. For example, if you're in a football field or a baseball field or a basketball event, and you're like way up in the bleachers and you're using a flash to get courtside action, you zoomed in real close, those flashes aren't going to work. They are at the best rated for about 100 feet. Okay, so when I say 100 feet, that's like a top of the line 600 EXRT. That's your super duper flash, 100 feet. So it's not gonna make a difference as far as enhancing the exposure. So if you're in a sporting event like where you're far away, you got a nice zoom lens, or you don't have a big zoom lens, but you're using a flash, more than likely it's not really going to help you. Now, if you're shooting that same basketball game, you're shooting, just some people a few seats away, yeah, it's going to help. But if you're far away, shooting down, like, say, at a basketball court or a football field, these flashes are not going to help you at all. In fact, if anything else, they're going to distract other people. So keep that in mind. Okay, that's just one of my grievances I have. I see all these people, these sporting events where they're way back in the bleachers, several hundred feet up in the, near the back or in the middle, and it's like, dude, those flashes aren't going to help you any. So let's start on the upper left with the 600 EXRT for $549. It's a good flash. If you're going to transmit to other flashes, it's also a very good flash to have. You can make this what they call the master flash and control other flashes at the same time. So if you want to do multi-flash or have maybe a studio setting where you want to do that, that's a great flash to have. Oh, excuse me. Next we have the 430 EX2, nice flash. And then of course that's for $299. And as we go down to the next one in the middle, we got the Speedlite 320EX, which goes down to $249. And obviously, as we go down in price, you're going to get less features and less maneuverability. Obviously, let's move on to the next one where we have the Speedlite 270EX2 for $169. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tilt. You're not going to be able to do bounce flash with this one. As is the same as the case with the Speedlite 270EX on the right side, you're not going to be able to do bounce flash. These flashes on the far right side would be good for like a 50mm lens or the 40mm pancake lens or something similar to that, where you're using only real far away, maybe a few feet or maybe 10 or 15 feet. This would be a good flash for that. Now, as we go to the second row, we have the Speedlite 90EX, which is again, for $149, not a bad flash, but again, you're not going to have the power as some, like, say, the 600 EXRT or the 600 EX. But, again, for taking pictures of, say, you're at a family event or you're just taking your casual photograph, this is going to be a good flash to have. Next, we go to the Speedlite transmitter ST-E3-RT. And it's a Speedlite transmitter. What it is, it basically acts like a slave, except there's no actual flash. So what you do is you have flashes around let's say you have two flashes or one flash or, however many flashes you have set up to it. This is just basically you put it on your top of your camera, and it's basically like a transmitter saying, "Ooh, okay, I push the button now, telling the other flashes when to fire." And the same is true with the Speedlite transmitter ST-E2. It just doesn't have the range. So, the one's just basically more powerful. Next to last on the bottom right, we have the macro twin light for macro work. And then this is like the high-end deal. And then we have on the far right the macro ring light MR-14EX, which does a good job. Obviously, it's not going to do a good job as the micro twin light MT-24EX, but they both do good work. But obviously, you're going to get better with the 24EX, and so I mean, either one's going to be good. It's definitely going to help out your macro photography by illuminating that subject close in. So if you're doing macro work, like bees inside of a flower, or I'm not just an example, praying mantis on a ledge, or maybe even a real close of a baby bird in a nest. I mean, that's just examples of things I can think of off the top of my head. Then you might want this. You have to keep in mind that it is going to flash, and it is going to be a bright light, so it could, in some instances it could, it would disturb, for example, a baby bird, it would affect the baby bird. So, but I think it would be for most instances where you want to get something close up, macro, and you need some extra light. One of these two options is going to be right for you. Again, the one's better than the other, but they're both good. And quite frankly, I think for all intents and purposes, it just comes down to what you want to spend. One's cheaper and one's more expensive. The one that costs more is a little bit better, but the one that's cheaper, again, not bad. So it's really, how serious you want to get into it, how much you want to spend to it. And of course, if you buy it with a cheaper one, you can always upgrade to the more expensive one later. So, something to think about. So that's an overview of the current Canon Speedlite lineup. So I hope I've given you some information to think about, and that is useful, and that can come in handy when you're deciding what flash is going to be right for you. Again, I personally am going to recommend the Speedlite 600EX RT for your digital SLR because it's able to do bounce flash. You can do different angles, not only just, 15, 30, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, but you can also turn it left and right, forward. It's got a lot of nice features besides the radio transmitter and the bounce flash. I mean, that's just two of the main ones. So that's something to think about. Of course, if you have a smaller camera, you may want something like the Speedlite 90EX that isn't so big and can fit, fit on top of the camera. Maybe even fit for you ladies out there, can fit in a purse or maybe a pocket hold, a pouch you put on your belt and put the camera inside the, a little holder. That might be the flash for you. So, depends on what kind of camera you're having using and what kind of photography you're going to do. So, with that in mind, again, I hope this video has helped. And until next time, I'm Canon EOS photographer Randall saying thanks for watching. Have a good day. May God bless you. And as always, keep shooting.